Cozy games and creature collecting lovers, boy do I have a game that you're going to love. In this video, I'm going to share with you my first impressions playing Creatures of Ava, and I'm going to help you decide if this is going to be a buy or skip for you. I've had my eyes on Creatures of Ava for a while, and I covered it a few times on the channel. So when 11-Bit Studios approached me to check out the game, I got so excited to share more details about it with you. Keep in mind though, all of my opinions are going to be my own, and the sponsorship does not impact how I feel about the game. Hello, you gorgeous human being, it's Miss Bubbles. If you love everything cozy games, I highly encourage you to subscribe. I have amazing challenges coming to the channel, so I don't want you to miss out on those. And we're starting with the presentation here, and the first thing that really caught my attention in this game is the presentation, but specifically the visuals. Creatures of Ava starts you off with a cutscene that's gonna introduce you to the story, and let's just say it was very touching, and I was like, whoa, what's happening here? Like, we just started the game. You're gonna see a glimpse into Vic's life, the protagonist that you play as. The world itself is beautiful, with waterfalls, different tribes with their own decoration and homes, and you have different region types to explore. You can use fast traveling using different teleporters that you find throughout the map, which is gonna come in handy and make things easier down the line. And the map is designed in a way that will block places that you should not be in because of the type of withering found there. We're gonna talk more about those in a bit, but I found that this kind of system really makes it easier for you not to get lost, and I'm someone who usually gets distracted a lot, so it kind of made that not happen, and I was like, okay, I'm focused, and I know what I need to do. You also have an active minimap on the bottom right corner to guide you. In the sound department, there is voice acting, it's really well done, and then the game is sometimes gonna switch back to normal dialogue, which you're gonna read, and you know me, I never mind those. The sound effects are also very well done. You're gonna hear the creatures making the cutest noises, you're gonna hear the sound of wind, the waterfalls, footsteps, birds chirping, teleport sounds, and more, which is a great way to add into the immersion. And the music is very relaxing to listen to, and you know me, I'm very nitpicky with my music. If I like it, I'm gonna tell you. If I don't, I usually tell you I turned it down. I did not turn it down a single time in this game. In the settings, I was so happy to see the field of view slider and motion blur toggles available. As someone who suffers from motion sickness and severe migraines, when I see these, I'm just like, devs, thank you so much. And the whole presentation is wrapped up with a handsome UI. When you're playing the game, it never really distracts you from the game. I do refer to my UIs as handsome, so if it's a good one, we're gonna call it handsome. Just roll with it. When you go to the inventory system or your journal or seeing the data that you've collected in tutorials, the screen looks like a tablet. And I feel like that really adds to the immersion because the whole game just comes together even when you're in the inventory system, which matters a lot to me.
Strong legs. Try to ushun. Try to levitate something with the Nafitar.
Moving to the story, and we keep things spoiler free, but I want you to still understand a bit about what you're signing up for. So you can choose either story mode, normal, or hard mode to cater the gameplay to how difficult you want it to be. And basically you play as Vic, and you end up in Ava, a region that you've been trying to rescue from the infection. But when your ship lands in Ava, and as you're trying to find a way to go back home, you end up in a ruin, and you meet an archaeologist, which helps you find the Nafitar. And this is a tool that was created by the Antares to clear the withering away. And this is the cause behind the infection that has been hurting the world and the creatures of Ava. The Antares are a tribe that you're slowly learning about as you play more. The more that you progress through the story, the more powerful your Nafitar will become. So in the beginning, you can only, let's say, take down the red wither blossoms. As you play more, you're gonna be able to take down the orange ones because you're just getting better. And throughout the game, you have the main story alongside some side quests that you can pick up, like helping a shaman who needs different species of plants so they can plant them. You also have someone else that you meet that are looking for someone to connect to. It's actually a long-lost human that they're searching for. So I feel like the balance between these side quests and the main quests were just done perfectly because you're not getting too distracted, but then also if you want a breather from the main story, you still have these that you can look forward to. And getting into the meat and potatoes of the game, the gameplay. The game's gonna start you off with a really good tutorial to learn the gameplay loop and the basics, and you're quickly gonna realize that the world has a lot to offer. Not only in the various ways that you can discover to survive, but also the creatures that you're gonna be friends with, and we're gonna talk a lot about them in a second. You can climb, jump, sprint, and crouch to hide to make traversal easier, and if you look in different nooks and crannies, you're gonna find some resources which you can use to craft different materials like antidotes, healing brews, power-up drinks, and immunizing agents. Now the most fun part, the creatures themselves. You guys. You use a camera to zoom in and out, and you can take pictures of the creatures to gather more information about them, and it's been so fun to see the different types that the developers have designed. For example, one of the very first ones you meet is called a Kraj. It's just a smaller form of a T-Rex, and it's just so cute. And each creature has a list of tasks that you can complete. You can, for example, take photos of a healthy one, as well as take photos of a sick one. You can pet one, you can use their abilities in co-op mode, you can cure their infection, and ultimately rescue their species, and that way you're gonna be ticking boxes. And it felt a bit like Pokemon Arceus, and I really like that because it just scratches that completionist, itch that sometimes comes out in me. So if a game is making this easy for me to complete, I'm like, yes, let's do it. And to get the creature's attention, you're gonna use the flute to play a certain tune. For example, you have the tune of grass, which is used for grassland creatures. You have to listen closely and look at the tune that the creature has played to replicate it. And there's a sign above the creature's head that indicates if they're understanding what you have played or not, which is so cute. And once you capture its attention, you can connect with it. So basically, you can lead it to where you want it to go, but most importantly, you can use its superpowers and its abilities. So for example, one of the creatures lets you use its charge ability, so you can destroy fungi that are blocking your way, or back to the Crush, if you use it, you can bite obstacles off, or you can use it to go from one hole to another, and that really helps you explore the map and the world more. But things are not that simple. Creatures also have different statuses and different ways that they're feeling. If they're friendly, it means that they trust you and you can pet them. Yeah, you can actually pet them, and the animations are so cute. Some of them will lie down on their back and they want you to rub their belly. And then to add to it, the sounds that Vic does and the way that she's like, oh my god, they're so fluffy. It just like, it really adds to the immersion because you can kind of feel like, oh, if I was there and I was touching this creature, like they actually have fur. Because like, it's just small attention to detail like this that it's just so cute. But back to the statuses. If they're wild, they can either run away from you or attack you. So you're gonna have to play your flute to make them friendly. And then if they are infected, then you're gonna have to use your Nephthar to get rid of the infection and then make them friendly. The goal is going to be to save them, so you can teleport them to a safe place by using the rescue bot for the bio arc, and each region will have a number of creatures that you need to rescue so you can actually save the species, and you're gonna need to do those to complete the story. And these are really satisfying to do, especially when you just rescue those creatures and you're leading them to safety. There's just something about this game that is unlike, let's say, Pokemon, because in this one I can actually feel attached to the creatures and I actually really care about them. With Pokemon, I just feel like, okay, I'm just collecting them and I'll use them whenever I want to. With this one, it's like being empathetic to them and you have to be sweet to them. It's just so cute. Now, as you're progressing through the story, you're gonna discover more of the areas around you. And some places require some puzzle solving, and you can use your tool to access them, like using the levitate power to move obstacles around for your advantage. And in some places you can meditate, so you can use your flute and earn research points. Now, you're gonna need these research points to unlock different skills in your skill tree. And speaking of puzzles, there are different types of puzzles, and you know me, I don't like puzzles. In here, they were really easy. I didn't need any playthrough to look at. I didn't need any wikis. Like, literally, anyone can solve them. They were really simple to just navigate. But for example, one of the puzzles is you fixing broken mosaics that will help tell the story of the Antares. You remember the tribe that we were talking about earlier? These will pop up when you're about to unlock a new level for your tool, so you can overcome stronger wither blossoms. And you can also take pictures of wind chimes and investigate Antares statues to get more research points. And as I was saying, you can use these in the skill tree, so you can unlock things like overcharging beam, an item detector to help you find rare objects, crafting proficiency, and more. And you can also increase your attributes by finding and gathering special kits for them, like increasing health, stamina, and inventory, to name a few. And these will really challenge you because that's where like the exploration part of the game comes. When you go to different labs and you're exploring them, or maybe you're looking at different nooks and crannies and maybe you should have, you shouldn't be there, but you're just being nosy. Being nosy actually pays off because you're gonna get these kits and you're just gonna get better and better. And let's talk about the combat so far.
Could you come and see me? I have a small favor to ask.
I'm actually enjoying it, so basically use your Nafitar to conduct beams and rid the creatures from the withering. And once the bar on top of their head goes down, they're gonna be healthy and free again. You can dodge and jump to get out of the way. You also unlock roll through the skill tree to use. I must say the controls in the combat did take a bit of time for me to get used to them, but once you get the hang of it, it becomes really easy. And I really like that you don't have to kill the creatures. Your goal is to save them. And Vic is gonna say things like, oh, yeah, I'm just trying to save you, or I'm just doing this for you every time she gets hit. You do lose HP when you're attacked, so you can use your healing items to recover. And you also have stamina, so every time you dodge or you sprint out of the way, you will lose that and you will run out. So you're gonna have to be patient. You can also press X, for example, when you unlock the charge beams, so you can deal extra damage to the infection. But I really like that you have to be strategic with the way that you're encountering these creatures that are infected, and pretty much you just have to be patient. So is Creatures of Ava gonna be a buy or a skip for you? It's gonna be for you if you love creature collecting, a semi-open world to explore, and resource gathering and crafting. It's for you if you enjoy a story-driven, cozy game that is balanced between following a main quest and side quests to dive deeper into the lore. It's for you if you enjoy some puzzles here and there that are not too mind-bending to solve. And it's for you if you're looking for a new cozy game that is different from your typical farming, fishing, mining, and romancing experience. But I'd say Creatures of Ava is not going to be the one for you if you're not into creature collecting games, if you absolutely hate any form of combat in your cozy game, and if you cannot tolerate any form of puzzles. As for me, I'm loving Creatures of Ava. I was playing till 12 AM yesterday. I found it so hard to put the game down. I was just like sitting there and just playing, and I love when games do that and they hook me. And there's one thing that I really enjoy about it is the fact that it puts me in my place. So sometimes I would just be sprinting around and trying to get from a place to place just because I'm sometimes impatient, like that's just me by nature. But the game will just put me in my place because I'm gonna accidentally run through a creature and the creature is not gonna like it and they're gonna attack me. So, or sometimes I'll just step into a plant and go into its radius where it actually ends up poisoning me. And here I am struggling with ink all over my face and I can't see it. And I have to wait until the ink fades away, and it like really tells you to calm down, like enjoy your surroundings, enjoy the music, and enjoy the sound effects, enjoy the work that the devs have put into the game. And sometimes you just need that, especially when you're playing a cozy game. Are you gonna buy Creatures of Ava? I would love to know, and let me know what did you like about it. If you're interested in buying it, if you're already playing it, I want to know how's your experience with it. Thank you so much for 11-Bit Studios for sponsoring this video. Thank you for watching. A shout out to my patrons and YouTube members as always for supporting me. And an even more special shout out goes to the Game Dimension, Jake, Logan, and Stephanie for going the extra mile. Till next time, stay bubbly.